Hello, Jason. I just wanted to answer you maybe in a video answer, so it'd be a little bit closer to what it would happen in a sequence in a classroom setting, or if we were just communicating more or less back and forth. Since your question was really a great question, I appreciate it, and I think you have a deep understanding, especially since you've got so much experience under your belt with these business principles. So there's a simple answer to it, of course, but I'm going to expand it a little bit more so maybe I can share this video with others in the class as well, that don't have that kind of experience that you have as well. So if the context of it changes a little bit, that's the rationale behind it. But anyway, for those of you that might view this in a few days after Jason does, of course, um, Jason wanted to know what he should do with those depreciating assets. Of course, on the net worth or net wealth spreadsheet that I've given you, they'd show up on the asset side. I'm going to go in there and show you how to do that. And then they would also show up on the liability side or the debt side. The loan against them would. And we have to go back, and most of you probably took farm and ranch records and some accounting, or if you're like Jason, probably took accounting many years ago, like I did, and or had to really learn it on their own as a small business person. So um, assets always equal liabilities plus your owner's equity. So in order to keep it in an accounting sense, even for your personal finance, you have to keep that in that equality in order. Okay, so in order we're trying to pull out your net wealth or your equity portion of your wealth. The other part, a question that might arise is that this statement, if you want to, I'm basically asking for your personal finance part of this. And one of the reasons I do that is because I've never seen or met anybody, including myself, that was unable to actually grasp these principles on a personal side before they can apply them on a business side. It's kind of the foundation. You have to build that foundation. You can't just jump into the business side of finance and management and have much success, to be honest. So if you want to put some of your business assets and liabilities within this, it's okay. I'm not going to say you can't, but if you want, I keep mine separate. So my personal finance is on one spreadsheet. My business side is on another. It may look a little bit different, or quite a bit differently. And I've been running this net wealth spreadsheet for many years, so I can pull out trends, and from one area of the wealth statement to another, and definitely the bottom line being whether or not the equity portion of it, what you're worth in dollars. There's only a meaningful value to you, nobody else really. It can if you go in and of course look for debt or try you make an application for some debt on some particular things. And we're going to get into debt, of course, because that's a major portion that you have to deal with in business life and in personal life as well. So, but so anyway, a short answer would have been, Jason, is that yes, you would put your trucks down um, as an asset, okay, and then also show the debt side of it under debt. So the assets equal liabilities plus owner's equity. Okay, so let's just say show you on here because the terminology is a little bit different. I think it's a little more consumer centric in calling it a net wealth, net worth. His statement is a running net wealth, month to month in this case. So, operations, those are your cash accounts, of course. Let's go down here to your liquid asset accounts. Those are your investments. They're liquid. Okay, if I own some Apple stock, if I own some Bitcoin, if I own those kinds of things, then I'm going to put them in here and put my accounts. I may have several accounts, as you can see. Maybe I don't have any. Maybe I just have a Robinhood account. That's where those things are going to be. My illiquid assets are those that are what we would in a business sense call fixed assets. So just like Jason was talking about his trucks that he has involved in his business, those things are listed here, and then the valuations. They may probably don't change too much, especially on a book value basis from one month to the next. The other part of that, if you own a house, if you own some other assets such as livestock, those things are fixed assets, and you're not going to sell them. You don't count on. You may sell some of them, of course, but you don't count on selling them. Those would be considered fixed assets. So those are the income generating assets within a personal portfolio. So, and they may not gain much in value. I mean, we've had a tremendous uptick in real estate in the last year or so, but typically those things don't move that much over the course of a year. But I did adjust my real estate holdings on my personal financial statement here recently, because there's been such a large increase in it. Okay, and then the debt on those trucks would show up down here. So you might have a $40,000 pickup. You still owe $20,000 of debt on it, and as you pay it off, you're going to see the principal on that debt decline over time. Okay, so kind of a long answer to a short question, but a great question. Thank you for that, Jason. Hopefully it explained maybe this net wealth to the class a little bit better too. If you guys ever have any questions, I'm perfectly willing also to get on a Zoom call with you and explain some of these things. Or if you would like me to, publish some of these videos as well. So I don't mean it to last too long, but actually this is one of the exercises that I've done over a long period of time that actually has benefited my business, benefited my wife and I's and family's financial situation in a lot of ways. You basically, it's kind of like the decision-making process. You have to identify the problem, you have to make the decision, and there's a sequence to all that. If you don't know what the problem is, then it's pretty tough to solve any problems. So, good day to you, and thank you for that question again, Jason.